And so it actually starts with dad. With dad, the message is that dad will instill into the heart of a young man, and think of it almost like in terms of the transitional seasons of blessing, like a page, a squire, a knight. That there are those defining times. So the message is that I believe that will serve a young man in transition well for the rest of their life are three, primarily three. There may be many more, but I love you. I love you no matter what. I love you in spite of anything that you could do to try and stop me from loving you. And that you are really the apple of my eye. Secondly, you got what it takes. I believe in you. And it's not flattery. You study your son by way of affirming the things that you see that have got cost, that connect with value. You affirm them in the ways that have really got some substance to them. And third is when I see you doing this, I see that this is what you were made for. It's like you breathing. It's being able to acknowledge their sense of giftings and what they're good at. And that's wrapped around the communication of time and touch and talk and listen. It is got everything to do with being up close and personal. There's an old saying, you can impress at a distance, but you impact up close. And so when it comes to time and talk and touch, I think in my own life that a lot of the body language of men in my life that served as somewhat mentor type of figures were coaches and people that were old school that basically communicated a message that as long as you produced, as long as you produce, you got game in my eyes. But you guys know what I'm talking about when I would say that have any of you ever experienced this thing called the look? Yeah, disappointment, shame, a sense of you're bothering me, not now. And frankly, when you're thinking about asking questions like, do I have what it takes? The message can be either, are you kidding? Or you're gonna have to figure that out on your own. I don't know. And so when you think about the power of what a father has by way of that which is critical for men, men do not experience manhood by way of self-validation. You cannot self-validate yourself in a way that's going to have any type of shelf life, or any type of Velcro effect. Manhood does not become imparted by way of women. Women have a certain role in our lives. Our wives or whatever have a certain role. But in terms of being able to really affirm our manhood, it's interesting listening to my son. Like after ball games and stuff, what my wife would do is that she's just wild. That she's just out on the court, he's out on the court, and that he's just having a great time. I mean, the nurturing part of a mom is just there that she loves just at all times. What's wild is that he would come to me to ask Dad, like, how did I really do? You understand? Yeah, and then there takes a lot of tact in which I, fail many times. I am guilty as charged. The short version is that I did an incredibly amount of hard work to be able to get all my kids back, including my wife, because of how the pathology in my life, how I ended up compensating for not having those blessings in my life, not having the right kind of words that had to do with life. So here's fast forward of what my life looked like. Excuse me. Remember Alex, who stood in the door waiting for a daddy who would never return? You wouldn't in a million years have guessed that that was a story you'd known of him in college. He was a man's man, incredible football player, hard-drinking, hard-living man every guy looked up to. He drove a truck, chewed tobacco, loved the outdoors. He used to eat glass. I'm serious. It was a sort of frat party trick he took on, the ultimate display of dangerous strength. He'd literally take a big bite of the glass, chew it slowly, and swallow it. When he worked as a bouncer for a tough bar, it made a pretty impressive show to get the roughnecks in life, but it was a show, the whole macho persona. And that was me. To be able to try and get the type of validation and respect in a man's world, I mean, the first day that we go out on the playground, there's a ball thrown out. And it becomes a competitive, who's going to be king of the hill. A man is born into a world of competition. There are alpha males, there's a competitive stratus by way of where we fit in the social structure. And so guys go to a default setting. It could be your humor, it could be your intellect, it could be, certain giftedness, or it could be athleticism, whatever. But we will go to that which is going to allow us to be able to say, we've got game, and you want me on your team.